That if you elect me president,
oh, this guy's great.
I'm going to go through the entire budget and review all the spending, line by line. He went out and appointed, through an executive order, Elon Musk. He's got a top secret security clearance. They've talked about the process. President Trump's executive order supposedly violates the Constitution, and they've accused Mr. Musk of having conflicts of interest. I mean, people in this town, not just my Democratic colleagues, they're really upset. They've never had anybody question their spending. This has been going on for a week. And I've listened to people talk about the process and debate whether it's constitutional. But you know what? I haven't heard one single person who's upset with President Trump or Mr. Musk talk about what he's found. They don't want to talk about the spending, the waste of taxpayer money that he's found. I mean, that's the point of all this.
Like West Virginia,
now,
right?
Mr. Musk started with the USAID. That handles a lot of
so all this is the USAID he's going to be reading.
And I'm not saying that all of this money is wasteful. Some of this money, I'm sure, does some good. He found that the USAID has 10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion.
He's going to start
That's
spitting.
Why Secretary Rubio is going to revamp the department to separate the good from the bad. He discovered some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. The USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India. The USAID gave $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ group called Grupa Izadaji to, quote, advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities. The USAID spent $164 million to support radical organizations around the world. They gave $122 million of that to groups aligned with foreign terrorist organizations. The USAID has given millions of dollars to, quote, organizations in Gaza controlled by Hamas.
What?
Recipients of the money have, quote, called for their lands to be cleansed from the impurity of Jews. We gave $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. We gave $20 million to produce a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. We gave $4.5 million of taxpayer money to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. He found that we gave $10 million of meals to an al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group called the Nusra Front. We gave $7.9 million of taxpayer money to a project that would teach Sri Lankan journalists to avoid binary gendered language. The USAID gave $1.5 million to promote LGBT advocacy in Jamaica. They gave $1.5 million to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem. They gave $1.5 million for, quote, art for inclusion of people with disabilities in Belarus.
Like
Another $3.9 million
sketch.
for LGBT causes in Macedonia. $8.3 million for equity and inclusion education in Nepal. Why aren't my colleagues talking about that? Nobody else is talking about it. They're just talking about the process. And Mr. Musk, and he's a mean guy, and he shouldn't be looking at our spending. Well, he is. I kind of find what he's found out interesting. What the hell happened to all the money?
Bro, and you know what's fucked up? Is that those are the people that their whole stance is supposed to be universal basic income, universal health care, let fucking food stamps for all, fucking government phone, government aid, government this. And it's yeah. Why are we sending why am I in debt to fucking DePaul for some bullshit?
You just listed $1 billion, yeah.
Why the fuck do I pay up the ass if I break my leg and I got to go in an ambulance? Why am I in debt to for the rest of my goddamn life if I get cancer? If I get a horrific disease,
you might as well kill yourself.
You might as well fucking die, because if you don't fucking die, a day in a hospital puts you in debt forever. So it's
Well, What does it matter?
But Guatemala needs fucking sex changes, and they need $10 million. Yeah. It's like, I'm $30,000 in debt, and I'll be in debt to DePaul until I'm 80. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Helping people with disabilities in Belarus. It's like, you know how many people with disabilities here are just fucked?
Like, your whole thing is help people.
Yeah.
Help me, motherfucker. Like,
well, that was the only thing I didn't like about this guy's earlier. He was saying how in this country, like, if you're homeless, we'll feed you. If you're homeless, we'll
yeah.
And it's like, well, we would like to think that, but I mean, we also have a gigantic homeless problem. So you keep saying that.
There's millions. You know how many fucking homeless people we have? Like, it's insane. How many homeless people do we have? Let's see.
The thing that didn't get brought up at all during the presidential debates. The thing that was glossed over. The thing everyone talks about.
771,000 homeless people.
That's what's funny when they want to talk about us like we're a fucking... For our country
the
that wants to
greatest
talk.
country in the fucking world. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, there's homeless people everywhere, but I mean, we could be doing... Belarus doesn't need fucking DEI support. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are we doing? How diverse is Belarus?
$8 million for a Sesame Street show in Iran, or whatever it was.
Yeah, like,
or
what
Iraq.
The fuck are we doing? Yeah, no. Protect the fucking museum in Iraq. Right. How about we do that? How about we excavate a little more in Iraq? Street. Yeah, how about we rebuild...
They use puppets.
No, yeah.
How much money is it?